Please come to your mat. Please come to a nice tall seat. Rest your hands on your thighs and close your eyes. Take a big breath in through your nose and out through your nose. Continue this breathing here just to awaken the body. Bring that breath down into the depths of your belly. The dark spaces in the hips. The congestion behind the heart. Wherever else your areas of blockage might be. And then bring your right ear to your right shoulder on the exhale. And then rolling the head forward, bring your chin to your chest. And left ear over to the left shoulder. Oops, the right side. Bring your chin back towards your chest. And then take your hands behind your head, interlacing your fingers. Slowly look forward like you're drawing a straight line up the wall, all the way up towards the ceiling, letting the head fall back into your hands. So it's just a nice, gentle back bend here, keeping the back of the neck long. And opening the chest, opening the shoulders, feeling the shoulder blades draw towards one another. Lift, open that heart space. Take 2 more deep breaths here. Harder to breathe here, so make that breath move all the way down into the belly. Then come back to center, release your hands to your knees, and let's circle around. So lean forward and to the side and back. Either direction is fine. We're just going to make a nice full circle, round circle. So if it's not quite round, then make it a little bit smaller and feel into your back, feel into your hips, and then connect the movement with the breath. So as you come forward, you're going to inhale, exhale as you come back. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Once more this way. Inhale. And exhale. Switch it up. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Keep going at your own pace, staying with that rhythm. Good. Come all the way back to center, sitting up nice and tall. Reach your arms all the way up. And exhale, fold forward. Move your head side to side here, a little yes and no nods, turning the head, moving the neck around, and then inch your fingertips just a little bit further out. Come all the way back up. Hold on to your knees and lift your chest. Take a little back bend again here, looking all the way up. This time, let your shoulders pull back a little bit more and let your head come back a little bit more, but only with the gradual curve of the neck. So without letting the head just drop back, feel that nice gradual curve. Come back to center and let's twist to the right. Right hand back behind you, left hand to your knee. And then twist to the left. Come back to center and then all the way to your hands and knees. Tabletop position. And then cat-cow here. As you inhale, look forward and arch your back. And as you exhale, round. And inhale, arch your back and look up and forward. And exhale and round. Inhale, arch your back. And exhale and round. Then inhale, arch your back. And then exhale to downward dog or child's pose, whichever feels more appropriate for you right now. If you're in downward dog, we'll start to wake up your legs, pedaling your feet. If you're in child's pose, bring a little bit more energy into the pose and extend your arms, maybe come up on your fingertips. So just find some movements here to work with your own body. Shift around as needed. Keep breathing. Keep exploring. Good. And then come back down to all fours, back to that tabletop position. We're going to inhale, sweep the right arm all the way up. Open the chest, reach to the fingertips. Exhale and thread it through. Thread it all the way through. Drop the weight down to the back side of the shoulder. Release your head down. Then come back to all fours. Plant your right hand down. And then sweep your left arm up. Open the chest. Look to your left thumb. And exhale, slide your left arm all the way through over to the right side. Good. Come back to all fours. And then tuck your toes again. Downward dog, or of course child's pose. Listen to your body. Just either posture, we're working on lengthening the spine here. So if you're in child's pose, those hips pull back towards the heels. If you're in downward dog, the heels drop down towards the earth. Arms are extending out in front, crown of the head reaching out, and a little bit of space in between each vertebrae. And then if you're in child's pose, come up to downward dog for a brief moment and transition to a standing forward fold. So walk your hands and feet to meet and let your arms hang, let your head hang, little yes and no nods. And deep breaths. And go ahead and move your hands around here in circular motions, just hanging here. Circle around in the wrist joint. And then come onto your fingertips. So you might have to bend your knees to do so. Lift your right heel and then lift your left heel. So just stretching the feet now as you rotate from left to right, just popping your heel and seeing that you're stretching all 5 toes as you lift your heel. And then go ahead and bend the knees. Bring your hands up to your knees and look forward. So lifting up to a flat back here. Bring your hands to your hips, pushing into your heels and rise all the way up to stand. And come to the top of your mat. Bring your big toes together. Release your arms down by your sides. Inhale and reach all the way up. And exhale, fold all the way forward. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, plant your hands and step all the way back to plank. We're going to take a nice, slow sun salutation here. Lower to your knees, lower to your belly. Point your toes and peel up into a little back bend here as your heart lifts. And then exhale, press all the way back from your knees to downward dog if you can. Child's pose is an option as well. Just a couple breaths here. Find that big stretch in the legs again as you lift your kneecaps, engaging the legs. And then walk your feet all the way up to your hands to a standing forward fold. Let everything hang. Inhale, lift halfway, hands to your knees. Take a big exhale here. Bend the knees, inhale and rise all the way up. Big stretch up and exhale, hands to your heart. Do that flow again. Inhale and reach high. Exhale, fold all the way forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step back into plank and walk all the way back. Get nice and long. Feel that core engage here. Lower to your knees and slowly using your tricep muscles, lower all the way down, elbows brush your sides. Point your toes, inhale and peel up into cobra pose. And exhale, take it all the way back. Downward dog, child's pose, nice slow transition all the way back there for a few breaths here. Stretch those arms out, spread your fingers wide. Let the head be heavy. Yes and no nods, let that neck relax. Just feel the whole body being stretched here. Walk your feet all the way up to your hands and fold forward. Inhale, hands to your knees, lifting halfway. Exhale here. Bend the knees, use the legs to inhale, rise all the way up. And exhale, bring your hands to your heart. One more time through that sun salutation. Inhale, reach up. And exhale, nice and slow, all the way down to that forward fold. Inhale, lift to lengthen. Exhale, plant your hands and walk all the way back. Lower to your knees, keep your hips lifted and lower down in one piece. Point your toes and inhale for cobra. And exhale, downward facing dog. Good. Whatever you like to do here. Hold steady, come up onto your toes, drop your knees, walk your feet out. Just listen to your body. You don't always have to move. You don't always have to be still. Just check in with what the body is needing. And then we'll make our way to a standing forward fold again. Feet hip width apart. This time we're going to grab opposite elbows and just hang. Try to get those legs straight. Make sure your toes are pointed straight forward. And you don't need to lock the legs here. so that you can get the legs straight without locking the legs. Sometimes when we lock the legs, we just hyperextend and we round the back. So we want some strength in the legs, a little micro bend in the knees, just allowing your whole body to fold over your legs here. Yes, no, nods with the head. Even stretch to the right and left sides of the body. Good, and then slowly walk your hands up halfway. Take an inhale here. And exhale, fold. All the way back down. Good, hands to the mat. And we're gonna bring the left hand in the center and take the right hand up for a twist. So if you have a block, that's helpful to place under your left hand. Or you just come up onto your fingertips. But we're gonna work towards straightening the right leg and bending the left knee and looking all the way up towards your right thumb. There's a whole rotation in the upper spine here and the shoulders. And then release the right hand down. And take the left hand up. So right hand's in the center of your feet here, right underneath the shoulder, and unwind the spine to twist and look all the way up towards the left. Looking to your left thumb. And then come all the way back down. Nice, let your body hang. Bring your hands to your hips. We're gonna bend the knees and sit back here. Like you're coming into chair pose. Keep your hands on your hips and just feel strong in the legs. See that your toes are pointed forward, your knees are parallel, and then push into your heels and rise all the way up. Good, inhale, reach up to the sky. And then exhale, take your hands back behind, interlace the fingers and open the chest. Take a couple breaths here. Keep a little bend in your knees just so we don't jut everything forward and compress the spine. So bend the knees, bring your hips back, keep that curve in the low back and lift your chest. So you're trying to get this nice little C shape in the spine. As your chest lifts, your shoulders drop. Maybe you bend a little bit deeper to help that curve deepen a little bit. And then come all the way up to stand. From here, we're gonna bend the elbows, tuck your knuckles to the right hip. So you're tucking both over to the right side here. And then you're gonna take your right ear to your right shoulder. Just open up the neck here. Maybe tilting your chin up or down, just feeling into that stretch, positioning the head where you need it. Often it's you lift it up a little bit so you can get into this big muscle here in the front of the neck. I see gets really tight from all the tension in the jaw. So go ahead and come back to center. Let's reposition here, get a bend, stick your butt out, lift your chest up, get that curve. So we're getting mobility in the hips, and then we're gonna tuck the knuckles to the left side. Tuck them all the way over to the side. There's already a stretch for that right shoulder. And then bring your left ear to your left shoulder. Good, it can be pretty intense. So move really slow, make sure you're breathing. And then again, you can lift your chin slightly upward. Just move real slow here. Find where it's best for you and breathe there. And then come all the way back to center. And then take your arms to the sky. Stretch all the way up. Now we're gonna let the right hand come down the right side. Reach the left arm up and over. And now we're opening up that whole left side of the body, especially between the waist and the ribs. So let the right shoulder drop. Let that right hand Reach down and then turn and look up towards that left hand. And breathe. And then inhale, bring both arms up, get nice and tall. Root your feet down, lift your kneecaps up, stretch up through the fingertips, and then let your left hand slide down the left leg. Right arm reaches up and over. You can put a little bend in your knees here. Make sure that left shoulder drops down. Get that big stretch through the whole right side, and then maybe look up to that right hand. And then come all the way back up, reach up, and then exhale and release it all the way down. Good, just stand for a moment, close your eyes, and feel this energy that you've created in the upper body, in the spine, in the shoulders, in the neck. And then notice if you're holding your body tense here, then release it. Might be in the legs, the hips, the jaw. Just like you were in Shavasana for a moment here, just let everything go. Bring your hands to your heart. Step to the top of your mat and take a big step back with your left leg. Bring your hands to your hips, warrior one. So with your hands, turn the hips forward, lunge deeply into that right leg, straighten out through the back leg. Push up through the back of that left knee, and at the same time, pull that left hip forward. And then take your arms all the way up overhead. And breathe. Good. Bring your hands back down to your hips. We're just going to rotate to the other side. So now turn your right toes in, turn your left toes out. Your right toes are going to turn all the way to 45 degrees, pointing to that right corner of your mat. But now you're facing the back of your mat. And we're just turning the hips, twisting at the lowest part of your spine first. And then bring your shoulders to line up. And then take your arms up overhead. Good, deep breaths here. Good, bring your hands to your hips. Turn your left toes in. Rotate back around to the front. And now we're going to come into that high lunge. So you're going to lift your heel up. So now you're balancing. With that heel lifted, find your stability. You might need to widen your stance a little bit. If this is too much altogether, you can always modify and take that back knee down. But we're going to come into this balancing pose here. High lunge pose, big stretch of that left hip flexor. Take your arms all the way up. And breathe here. Good, nice strong legs. Hands to your hips. Come through center, rotate around to the back. Don't worry about seeing me, it's the same pose, it's high lunge, just feel it. Your back heel's lifted, front leg is in that deep lunge. And once you're steady, you can take your hands up if you'd like. You can always keep your hands on your hips as well. Stretch out that whole right hip flexor, breathe. Good, bring your hands to your hips, rotate all the way back around. We're gonna do one more here, warrior two legs. So back foot is out 90 degrees, right toes are pointed straight forward, arms extend over the legs. You're facing the front of your mat now. Reach your arms out and over the front toes and lower your right hand to your shin. Bring your left hand to the sky. And breathe deeply here. Good. Reach to your left hand, come all the way up. Right toes in, left toes out. Triangle pose on the left side. Reach out over the left leg. Lower the hand to the shin, right hand to the sky. All the way up to your right thumb. And breathe. Good. Come all the way back up. And bring your feet in. Walk your heel toe till your hip width apart here. And then we're gonna turn towards the front so you can see me without turning your head. And you're gonna balance in tree pose. So right foot to the left leg. Maybe right toes stay on the mat. Maybe you've got a wall handy. Bring that right foot as high as you comfortably can. And bring your hands to your heart. And you can hold steady here, or let's take cactus arms. So open up the chest, open up the palms, and then shift your gaze just slightly. So the whole upper body feels this nice gentle lift as you look upward. You can tell if you look downward, your energy is going to move downward. So we want to look up and keep that whole lift happening from the waist up. Take one more deep breath. Bring your hands back to your heart. Make a nice slow transition out. And switch sides. Bring your left foot up. Hands to your heart. Find your breath. Left foot presses into the right leg presses back. Hugging towards the midline. Hands press towards the midline. Feel everything pulling towards the spine. And if you like, you can take that cactus position with your arms again. Opening the palms, open the chest, let your shoulder blades come back, and then lift your gaze and breathe. Hands come back to your heart. Left leg comes down. And then walk it out. Okay, let's take another stretch here. Arms out, straight out to the sides. Just going to focus on the upper body here. So get stable and comfortable in your lower body. Just feel nice and secure in that foundation. Arms reach out. Turn your palms up. Feel that stretch in the arm muscles here as you rotate the palms upward, thumbs pointing back, and then rotate all the way around the other way. So thumbs point down now and extend out through your pinky fingers. Good. We're going to rotate the palms forward now, thumbs up again, and then wrap your right arm underneath the left. Maybe you grab opposite shoulders, maybe you wrap all the way around, right fingertips into the left palm. And then breathe here. Move your head a little bit here. Make sure there's no tension in the neck. Maybe lift your elbows a little bit more. Take one more deep breath. And then release and extend the arms all the way out. Good, big stretch. Open them up. Feel the front body open as you pull the arms back, and then we'll switch sides. Bring that left arm underneath the right. Hands to shoulders or wrap all the way around. And breathe here. Just focusing on the shoulder piece of this eagle posture to really intensify this stretch in the shoulders, an opening behind the heart, and connection to your breath. Move the head around, make sure there's plenty of freedom here. Maybe lift the elbows a little bit. Release the arms all the way out. One more big stretch. Take them straight out and then take them back a little bit. So see if you can reach your arms back behind you. Really open up, taking the opposite position that we just did with the arms. Whew, good job. And then release and rotate the shoulders around in a circular motion. Just bring them up by the ears, both directions. Good. And then we're going to take the feet a little bit wider than the hips. Give yourself room here so you can swing from side to side. I love this posture, just it's for exercise. Just bring in the circulation into your fingertips, into your hands as you shift from side to side. And then we start to get more mobility in the spine as you twist. Keep your knees bent here and let your whole body move from side to side, feeling that twist in the hips and low back. Moving that blood through here. Good, and then come back to center. Feet back to hip width apart. We're going to inhale, sweep the arms up and forward into chair pose, sitting back, and then exhale, come to stand. So you're going to find your own depth here. Inhale to chair pose. The most important thing is to watch what your knees do. Do they come out? Do they knock in? Try to keep them centered so they're like you've got a block here between your thighs. So come all the way up and then exhale and lower down. Glance down at your knees. Inhale and rise up. So nice, slow, controlled motions. Exhale and lower. Inhale, lift up. Don't come too far if that's hurting your knees. Exhale and just lower a little bit. Again, most importantly, we're just watching the positioning of the knees, the weight in the feet, and making sure that they're not taking the path of least resistance. A couple more times. Inhale, reach up, sit back, and exhale. You can lower your hands down if that's too much too. At any point, you can flow however you like. Again, the point is just to make sure the knees aren't doing their own thing here. Building the strength. These are the strongest muscles in your body. So we want to support them, build them, make sure they're both working the same amount. Good. One more time. And then come all the way up to stand. Good. Come to the top of your mat. And let's bring the feet together this time. Inhale and reach up. Exhale, hands to your heart. Inhale here. Exhale, twist. Left elbow to the outside of your right knee. If that's too far for you to twist, you can keep your feet hip width apart and take your left elbow to the inside of your left knee. So either way, your legs are together or apart. If your legs are together, it's a little deeper twist, but you've got to be able to have that range of motion. Good, come back to center and then switch sides. Good. Come back to center and then come all the way up. Inhale, reach to the sky. Exhale, fold all the way forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Plant your hands. Step your left leg back and lower your left knee down. So if this is too much on your knee, you can pad your knee by folding the mat under. Or if you have a light little towel, you can place it under your knee, because we're going to come all the way up onto that left knee. And just hold here. It's a big stretch for the left quadricep muscle and the left hip flexor. And you can choose to stay right here with your hands. You could take your left arm up and feel that stretch all the way up the left side, left knee to left fingertips. Connect that line. Maybe both arms up. Take it wherever you like. Just breathe here. If you're not quite feeling it in that hip, then you need to bring your weight back just a little bit. You might be lunging a little too far forward. Good. Deep breaths. And then take your hands all the way down alongside that right foot. Then we're going to straighten the right leg. Turn your toes up. Bring your forehead towards your shin. This hamstring stretch on the right side now. With your toes flexed, make sure all 5 toes are pulling back evenly. Feeling that right hip drag back. That right leg bone is long, the whole muscles on the back side of the calf and the hamstring are all lengthening here. And then come forward and plant your hands. Transition to the other side. So you can just take that right knee back and then take the left knee forward. Again, if you're on a hard surface, you might pad that knee a little bit, fold the mat, and then come all the way up. And breathe here. Good. Slow approach to everything will help you avoid any injuries. Will help you determine if you need to hang out there, if you need to back off, or if you're able to go a little deeper. But only until we get to that point and connect to the breath will we be able to determine what's best for us. So check in with your breath. It's smooth and steady. Perhaps you lift that right hand up. If it's not smooth and steady, maybe you back off a little bit. Maybe you bring your hands down to the ground. Maybe you pad the knee a little bit more. Do whatever you need to do. Maybe that left arm comes up. And breathe. And then slowly bring your hands down alongside that left foot. Turn your left toes up, hips shift back. The hips come back, but only above that right knee. So they're not all the way back towards that right heel. So you want to be more upright here. So you might have to inch your left foot forward and then fold over your left leg. And then bring your left leg back. And we're going to transition all the way to either child's pose or downward dog. Your choice. Feel into it. And then we're going to come up and flip around to a seated position. And bringing your right foot to the inside of your left thigh. If you need to support your knee, you can put a block or a blanket underneath your knee. Turn towards your left leg and then fold forward. Deep breaths here. Let your shoulders relax. Check in with your body. Where are you feeling it on this right side? We'll all feel it a little different, but it could be anything from your hips, your backs, your legs. Each exhale, just feeling your body fold a little deeper over that left leg. Good. Come all the way back up. Straighten that right leg out. Take the left leg in. Lift up, turn towards the right leg, and then fold forward. Deep breaths. Relax your shoulders, relax your jaw. Feeling the difference here between the right and the left side. Good, and then come all the way back up. Extend your left leg out. And we're gonna open the right leg now. So we've got wide legs. And we're gonna bring the hands in front if you can. So maybe you want your hands back behind you to push yourself forward a little bit. And maybe you can take your hands in front. Pay attention to your knees and your toes, keeping them pointed straight up. See if you can roll the pelvis here so you're rolling towards the front of your sit bones. It's deep in the inner thighs, especially when you keep your legs pointed up. You should feel that rotation deep inside here. And then walk all the way over to the right side and bring your forehead towards your toes. Keep your left leg active. So keep the left foot flexed and extending and pressing down so this left side stays rooted. So you can get that nice little twist at the same time. Then walk your hands back through the center and over to the left side. And extend through your right leg. Keep your right hip down. Good, come back to the center, over to the right. Take your right hand on your shin, and this time open up that left side, reaching your left hand over the body to the right toes. The tendency here is to kind of drop down and reach it in front. See if you can keep your arm up and over. You won't come down as far, but that's okay. We're trying to open more of this rib cage and side body. So stay right, stacked on top of that right leg, and left arm will reach over the body. Good, and then we'll reach up to that left hand and over to the other side. Right arm reaches up and over towards the left toes. Good, and then come all the way up. And we're going to bring the feet in now, soles of feet together. Knees out wide. Bring your legs into a diamond shape here, so your feet are going to be a little further out in front. And then again, we're trying to rotate to the front of your sit bones. You can even pull the flesh of your bottom back, and you can feel those bones, the sit bones dig into the mat below you. And then you try to roll to the front of those bones, and that'll get your pelvic bowl to tilt forward and get more mobility out of the hips and low back, especially if you're tight in your hips and low back. You might even slide a little towel or blanket to kind of elevate yourself to help that downward motion and forward motion into that pelvic bowl. So just sliding a little prop under the back of your seat, not the whole seat, just the back, just to get your pelvis to tilt forward. Couple more breaths here. Keep your shoulders relaxed. And then come all the way up. Bring your knees together. Bring your feet in. Wrap your arms around your shins and bring your forehead towards your knees. Curl in. Rounding the back here. And then we'll release into a reverse tabletop. So bring your feet hip width apart, bring your arms back behind you. And start here with just straightening the arms. That's a big stretch in itself. So that's a lot in the wrist, a lot in the arms and the shoulders. So good for the arms. So if this feels good and you'd like to go a little bit deeper, then press into your feet and lift your hips up. If that's too much, come back down. And just work here. You can work on lifting the chest, straighten the arms. You can go back and forth through the two. Just breathe. Whatever you choose, just breathe. And slowly come down if not already. And then make your way all the way down, lowering to your forearms, lowering to your back. Keeping your knees bent. We're going to place the right ankle to the left thigh. Grab on behind your left leg. For this supine pigeon pose, a little more gentle version for the knee joint. That's still a nice big opening for that right hip. As you pull the left leg in, keep your right foot flexed. That's going to help protect your right knee. But your left foot's relaxed. It's just hanging out back there. And then your shoulders are pulling down towards the mat to keep the chest open. Keep the head, neck, and shoulders grounded. Breathe. Now we're going to take the right leg and extend it all the way out to the ground. Take your left leg and extend it straight up to the sky. You still have your hands behind the left leg. We're just going to pull that left leg in and get that left leg as straight as you can by pushing up through the heel and pulling your toes back. Release the left leg down next to the right and just feel the difference of the two sides, the length, the space, the warmth. And then bend your knees. Place your left ankle to the right thigh. Bring your right leg in and wrap your hands around that right hamstring. Keep your left foot flexed and gently pull the legs in. Right foot's relaxed. Maybe even circle that foot to make sure that ankle joint is relaxed. Deep breaths here as you continue to pull the leg in and stretch that left hip. And we're going to release the left leg. Keep that right leg. Just take that left leg all the way down and extend the right heel up. Pulling the leg in towards you, pushing up through the knee. Flex that foot, lengthen the muscles, get it as straight as you can. And then release it all the way down. Take a moment here just to feel the body. Place your hands on your belly. Relax the legs, relax the feet, the hips. And then bend your knees, planting your feet hip width apart. And then let the knees rock over to the right. You can take your arms out to a T now. And then let your legs come back through center and over to the left. Just taking these windshield wiper motions from side to side. Moving with the breath. Inhale to center. Exhale, twist. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist. Once you come to the right side, hang out there for a few breaths. Turn your head to look to the left. So your feet are still wide. They haven't moved. They're mat width apart. So your legs are staggered here, which is a little more of a twist for the low back and hip juncture than it is just the low back. It's in the top muscles of the legs too. Back through the center and over to the left side. Now we're looking to the right. Just breathing, just feeling. And then come back to center and hug your knees into your chest. All right, with the knees into the chest, we're going to take the feet down to the mat. Make sure you've got enough room overhead to fully stretch the arms out. Stretching the arms long. And then take your arms down by your sides. We're going to flow through this bridge pose. I can do this with the kitty on me. Inhale, lift the hips up and arms reach up overhead. And then exhale, slowly the arms come down and the back comes down one vertebrae at a time. With the breath, inhale, lift up. And exhale and roll the spine down. Inhale and lift up. And exhale and roll it down. The idea here is to flow with the breath and the body in the same rhythm. So inhaling, making sure the pace matches. And you can only do that if you're super present. If you're thinking about anything at all for a second, you'll notice you're off. So bring your full attention to this flow. Inhale, the hips lift, the arms reach up. They stop at the end of the inhale, and then they come down at the top of the exhale. Notice if the body meets the ground first before the breath is out, or vice versa. And then shift it. Inhale, lift up. Big breath in, or exhale, lower all the way down. It's a nice deep breath in both directions here. Slow and controlled movements. One more time. Inhale and lift up. And then exhale and release down. And draw your knees into your chest. One more time. With your hands on your knees, draw circles, moving around in the hips, low back. Switch directions. And then hug the knees in towards your chest, lift your head up towards your knees, take a nice big curl, and then extend the legs all the way out. Extend your arms out into our final pose, Shavasana. Let your palms open, let your feet fall out. Let your body relax. Let the breath go. Feeling yourself completely supported here. Taking a scan of the body from time to time and making sure that you haven't tightened anywhere. So maybe a exhale through the mouth would help. Let that tension go. Slowly start to move your fingers, your toes, rock your head side to side. Move your wrists and your ankles, and then bend your knees. Make your way onto your side. And then eventually press all the way up seated. Sitting up nice and tall. Bring your hands together in front of your heart. Peace in me bows to the peace in you. Namaste.